On Nigeria Fine Face, what is the situation there?
Way to Barai Amasoma area along the Opolo Road when we saw a mob of irate young men wielding machetes and chasing some people around that place. We were given information by security operatives to look out for them. We actually met them, and so we had to quickly turn back because we are coming towards our vehicle. So we came in towards JTF Road now, trying to see if we can get alternate routes to the Barai Amasoma area where we are headed to cover the elections. At the moment now, this environment, we have a security post very close to us, so we have to get close to security before we can come up with this live update. And then we see some residents looking out, waiting to see the situation. As some of them say, until they are sure that everywhere is calm, they wouldn't be able to leave their homes. So they are around waiting to get assurances from the security operatives in the area. At the moment now, we don't know how the situation is, but we see people still running away from the edges where we saw those young men. So we wouldn't be staying with them. For safety's sake, we'll take this alternate through the JTF route to see how we can link Bahrain from this Opolo.
I'm glad about that decision that you have taken, but what do you think we can do to arrest that situation right now?
Security operatives to swing into action. We need more security presence. This is just one instance. There is no telling what could be the situation at the exact location where the boys are operating from. I don't know if there are polling units in that vicinity. So we need more security presence in that environment so that whenever the electorate come out to vote, they can actually participate in the process unhindered. At the moment now, it's just about security and assurance. The public is to be assured that their safety will be guaranteed when they come out to participate. By the time we get to other places, we'll know how it is. At the moment, Opolo Road, that's what we met. So we are leaving the area now.
Dangers ahead. We just hope that they have been able to reach out to the echelon of the police force to ensure that policemen are deployed to that area. That is Amasoma area you said. Thank you very much, Onegye Fine Face. We'll hope to hear from you much later. Please be safe. Yes, back to you, Mr.
Yes, okay,
Wilfred.
just before the interview, I think I was trying to explain the voting process. So when they get there, they present their PVC, they check like before they get to any of the officials who will attend to them, they'll be sure that their name is on the list by checking the one pasted on the wall or wherever convenient for them to find it there. Once they are sure, they meet the APO3 who cross-check the card to be sure the person is the owner, and the APO1 who is in charge of the card reader. Like the use of the card reader, let me use this term. The use of the card reader is as sure as day and night. So there's no excuse for not using the card reader. Okay. We're just letting them know now.
We'll get to the issue of incidents form.
No, let's get there. I'll just explain it and I'll take over.
Oh, no, we want to take a break and call for our first report by Aya Prezi. Okay, I'm told it's not quite ready. Okay. All right.
All right, so when it gets to the APO1 will first of all try to check if the card the person is presenting is authentic, that it came from INEC. Because we're hearing of cloned cards, and of course there are damaged cards. If your card is damaged, you can't vote. So that was why in most of our jingles and voter education efforts, we made them to know, preserve your cards, keep them properly.
Okay.
So then if it's authentic, given by INEC,
yes,
because they will put it under the card reader and it's going to show the information that will appear.
Yeah.
And the next step is for them to do the biometric assessment now to be sure the person is the owner. Of course, if it's the person's owned by the first, second, or the third finger, it identifies the person goes from that process to the next level. But peradventure where it fails, and in order not to waste time, but the card is authentic, and we are sure the person's information is in the register, the hard copy that the APO2 is using, the person will not go further. Then there's a point. We don't use incident form any longer.
All right.
Of course, we don't use it. Right from the last general election, it's not available. So, but what we have on the register, there's a column where the person is going to sign and get the person's information taken down before accreditation is done and the finger is stained with indelible ink, and the next process is to now see the presiding officer who will now issue an endorsed, signed and dated ballot paper with the date, and before he gives it to the voter, it will roll inwards. And this is a method to ensure that the process will not be compromised. Details of what the person is going to be doing will not be exposed. Because this is one method, if you don't fold it in the right way, it might create room for the voter, to expose it to those bias of votes. Okay, so this is one way we are checking it as well. So he rolls inwards, flattens the ballot paper and gives to the voter and directed to the voting cubicle, which of course enhances secrecy of the thumb printing for whoever the person wants to thumb print for. So the person goes in there, does that, and folds the ballot paper the same way the presiding officer issued it exactly. But this time around, after doing the thumb printing, the person folds it back, then come out in the open to drop it in the ballot box, right? Everybody can see what the person. So that's why it's the open secret ballot system. Then once the person is through, the person can leave the vicinity of the polling unit. But if the person decides to stay to observe what is happening, you can, but it has to be a distance of at least 300 meters. Okay. But then, at the end of the process, the sorting and counting of the ballot is done. The results calculated and everything done. Then, whatever happens there on the result will also be transferred into what we call the form EC60E. I'll call it an enlarged form of the result sheet, so that everyone not having opportunity to be there while the counting is done can now see what happened in that particular polling unit. And all presiding officers have been instructed to do that in every polling unit where the voting
Where will it
took
be
place.
displayed?
On the wall, of course. We have locations. We have our polling units.
Yes.
Every polling, the 1,804 polling units, the result will be displayed, written in the form EC60E, so that everybody can see what was done in that unit. And from that stage, the presiding officers and their team, they can now move forward to the next level, which is the collation at the ward level.
We also have one of our correspondents out there to give us a brief report of what is going on. Okay, Kogi State. We're live in Kogi now. Well, we seem to be having audio challenge there. We will come back, we are right here. So I'm particular about this issue of the level of education of voters. And well, it's my own perspective to this issue. How do you think we can improve on it? How do you think we can improve on it? Because there's language barrier, whether we like it or not. A large number of Nigerians who do not understand the lingua franca, and of course, in this part of Nigeria, pidgin English. How don't you think it's high time we started educating our people in the local languages or indigenous languages, if you like?
Yes.
So that they're better informed.
Yes. Well, like what you're saying is right. We need people from the area to do
to create the awareness.
Create the awareness, speaking the language to their people.
Yes.
To tell them also on vote buying and other relative matters.
Yes.
During the process of election.
Yes.
And I have been part of INEC since 1999. Okay. Every year INEC is improving. Because what we see in 1999 is not what we are seeing right now. So they improve every year, every time they have an election, they are improving. And I believe that by the special grace of God, we are going to get there one day. Because the way INEC is going, they are trying their best. But we want them to put more effort to see how they can help people who are from the area to also speak the language, tell these people that, look, it's your right to come and vote. Okay. So I think if those ones can be done too, it's also going to help a lot of people coming out to vote.
Okay.
But one area the people have been scared most of the times, we used to say, because people used to tell them they are going to be violent, dogs will come and shoot. Some of them used to have that fear.
Yes.
But we told them that the security situation is working on that seriously, so they should not be scared. Just now, you see the situation that was happening. They said already there are some bad boys in front, and the security people try to stop the NTA people not to go. But I believe the security people are also going to curb the situation so that the whole area can be quiet and the people will come and do the voting.
Okay.
But INEC need to also make sure, get the people involved.
Yes.
So that they can speak the language to them, they can understand that yes, we need to come and vote.
Okay. How soon will INEC, do this responsibility and carry it out effectively? The deployment of indigenous language. That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yes, INEC is doing enough sensitization, but how are you getting to the grassroots people? Majority of whom will come out on voting days like this voting days like this to exercise their rights.
Okay, the issue here is not how soon. INEC is already doing it. For example, now, just before this election, even in previous elections, we had jingles telling them about this election coming up, and we translated them into the indigenous language here in Bayelsa. We had about 6 languages we use them. We have English, we have Pidgin English, then we have the 4 major languages spoken in Bayelsa. So it's not a new thing to INEC. We've been doing it. And moreover, remember, we have offices in our local government area. We have voter education desk officers there. I remember NOAA is also in most of these local government. I remember we also have what we call the stakeholders meeting, not just at the state level. We also have them at the local government level. Remember, we also engage CSOs, faith-based organizations in this program. These people know their people better. We engage them, and they know the right language to speak with these people. In most of the live programs I went for voter education, I think from the feedback I get when they phone in, they get the message. But one thing is that the apprehension is just about the security arrangement for this election and the assurances that when they come out to vote, things will go out well. I think that is it. So in other words, that means they are getting the message already. So there's no language barrier, so to speak. But then, I think as we'll continue to talk, we'll continue to speak. But one thing I want to say here is that the voter education effort shouldn't be left for INEC, the civil society groups alone. The political parties themselves, they have a major role to play. In as much as even when they campaign during the election, they should also take out time to also educate these people. Why? Because experience have shown that these people listen more to them. It is what they say and tell their followers that they follow. Even if INEC says this and their follower says this, they will follow what their follower is telling them.
So I think there should be a proper engagement between INEC and this political
Of course, we have been
leaders.
doing that. We engage them, we tell them, but somehow they don't cascade these things back to them. That's why we call them, at the state level we call them, at the local government area level, they also call them for meetings. But most times, when they go for their, I wonder what they discuss. So they fail to, put this thing down to them. If not, some of the issues and then the plans we have all had, engagements we've had, and somehow it's like they are yet to key into some of these years to ensure yes.
Wilfred Ifuga, thank you so much for your time this morning. We will take a report now on the political evolution in Bayelsa State. Thereafter, we'll be entertaining other guests. For now, I'd like to thank you, Wilfred Ifuga, Head Voter Education and Publicity, and of course, Apere Beke of Global Network for Peace. Thank you for your intervention this morning.
Thank you.